Welcome back to my channel, and this is the last part of the mini-series where I present you the deck with which I've won the qualifier this tonight. So the last one I wanted to show you was this deck, the OTK Lifesteal Demon Hunter. This is pretty standard. I mean, the deck works pretty much the same as what it was the previous extension. Um, there's only like a couple different cards. Um, those two cards that actually make a lot of difference, and this one. So this one allows you to be more flexible on the way you kill your opponents as well as how you remove the boards. You only run one of those now. Um, you may not even want run it at all. Maybe you can cut this to get another one of these. I don't know. This one didn't feel that strong. You can probably replace it, but with this card you generally do not need this card. Before you use this card because you wanted to make sure that you had a good enough combo to OTK your opponent with two Morag in the same turn with Il'gynoth, and maybe you had a couple of ones that cost 0, so you could do some really crazy combos. Actually, yeah. With this deck, I actually had the most damage I've ever done with this OTK. I believe it was 196 damages. Yeah, I think I had 4 Morags, 1 Eternal Augmentant, and I used this bad boy with the Fell Scream Blast. Okay, so I believe this one is the strongest deck of all the decks that I've shown you, or of all the decks that I've brought for this tournament. At least it really felt like I did not have any bad matchups. Maybe the bad matchup would have been Control Priest, but I've only saw a couple of them and I've banned them, so it really felt like a really strong deck. Even if against Control Warlock, there are a few of them now. And the fact that you have this, oh, actually this is a new card too. I don't know if this card is free or if I opened it. Let's see. Yeah, this is free. Oh no, this is not this card actually. This one. Yeah, but still it's free. So yeah, this card is free even though it's a legendary, so basically the only two cards that are new are those two that are commons, and this one is a common too. So basically if you had the cards to make it in the previous expansion, you can just play it for free. Yeah, this card is really strong against Control Warlock because the main way to win is to play an early Ticatus to try and discard our win condition. But because we have this card, we are twice more likely to get the Elginot before they even get the chance to play the Ticatus. So usually you can get away with uh, with with not getting Il'gynoth discarded. Also, the fact that you have these two mana 1/3 means that you do not need to have every single part of your combo to kill the opponent, which makes the Ticatus less effective again. Against aggro decks, still the same, you have good removal options. Also note that this card with Immolation Aura deals 6 damages to everyone. So it's not like Salnoth where the first wave deals 2, then the second one deals only 1. This time, since it's this next spell this turn you play has +2 spell damage, you deal a lot of damages with this only 4 mana combo, 2 cards, you deal 6 to everyone. It usually wipes most boards. Another Another thing to notice is that this card, you do not need to keep it for the OTK. You only need one most of the time for the OTK, so you can use it as a removal. It works very well with this as well. I mean, it is part of the OTK, but you can also use it defensively. Against aggro decks, you just want to clear the board. You want to make sure that you have as little threat as possible when you cast your skull. This is in most games the game plan. Make sure that on turn 6 you can cast skull and that the opponent is not pressuring you. This helps a lot to do that, because if you play it on 2 or even on 1, sometimes you can coin it out. Against the decks that I saw the most, so as I was saying earlier, Rogue and Mage. Again, those two decks are very slow at the start. They do not run any proactive 1-drop. So you just play the 2-4, they cannot remove it, their cast costs more, they want to spend their resources to kill the 2-4, and while they do that, you just develop your weapons, you play your Illidary Studies, maybe you draw a couple cards with Spectral Sight, and basically this card gains you a lot of time. And this deck, if you have time, you just kill the opponent. There is just no other way around it. By the way, I don't think I've had a single game with this deck that went over turn 9. Maybe turn 10. I feel like with this deck, whenever you are 10 mana, you are going to be able to kill the opponent if you played the game correctly, or if they did not pressure you too much. So again, I will show you briefly the decks that I encounter the most. So this is the mid-range rogue. Yeah, pretty standard stuff. Some lists run the 2 mana 3/2. That's this one. 2 mana 3/2 that make your opponent spell cost 1 more the next turn. This one is really annoying for this OTK deck. I did not talk about it for the other two decks that I showed because it's not that big a deal for them, but this one can really screw you up. You have to plan that the opponent could play this once, maybe twice in a turn, and you have to have a backup plan if you cannot kill them in the following turn. But yeah, the main idea of this deck is that it is pretty slow. It is really strong in mid game and late game, but in the very early game, you can get an edge if you have the 2/4, as I was saying earlier. The mage is the mage spell. The list is not exactly the same as what we can encounter, but this is the general idea. Again, this deck is pretty free for Demon Hunter because there is nothing they can do about the 2/4. If you play the 2/4 on 2 or on 1, they basically either have to. Actually, one opponent did that to me once. He played Primordial Study on 1, he played the 1 mana 1/3 spell power that he got through this one, and I still coined out my 2/4 because I felt like there was only one card that would screw me over, and of course he had it, this card, but still it forces him to focus his attention on something else than developing his own game plan. And this is what we want to do with the OTK Demon Hunter. We want to make sure that the opponent is distracted from their game plan while making sure that we can develop our. So yeah, this deck is slow in the early game. In the mid game it does things, but as long as you remove the minions, they only come usually one at a time through this, or maybe through the font of power, but since it's random minions there's no really broken combination. So yeah, you just remove their minions, you draw a bunch of cards, you annoy them with the 2/4, and then at some point they can kill you when you kill them. Of course, when they play this card, it always becomes a bit more messy, but when they play this card, I mean, you cannot you cannot even do you cannot even forecast anything. You just pray that they don't get anything good. Again, so I think I've said everything I wanted to say for this game, for this deck. Let's see what the actual gameplay is. Okay, so we play the OTK lifesteal. So again, this deck feels really strong in the meta right now. I think the only counter to this is Priest. I mean, control Priest that runs Illusia. This is very not common right now, but this deck, I mean, every time I had it open, I usually open the match with it because I felt like this was such a free win. I was always very confident. Okay. So shaman are usually aggro shamans. They wanna kill us, they wanna take the board. We don't want those cards. If I had the Fellscream Blast, maybe I would have considered keeping those two cards together. This is a good early game board control tool, so I will keep it. Okay, perfect. So you'll get to see just how strong this card is in this deck. This will always become relevant. Having the 2-3 with the I-Beam could be a 3 mana deal 5 combo, which is always convenient. Yeah, so it's a spell damage deck, so it will be very annoyed by this one actually. I mean, there are ways for him to deal with it, but he does not want to spend his resources like this. Okay, so usually here I will play the weapon, but since my 2-4 is left uncontested, I just want to annoy him as much as possible. So I will play the 3 mana I-Beam. I will kill his minion, and that's what I meant by try to annoy them. Because now he just wants to get rid of this 2-4 and he cannot really focus on what he wants to do. Okay, so I'll kill it. Our hand is actually really bad now, because we really need some draw. If we don't have any draw, this deck does not work. And he got, if you saw my last video, you know that this deck is either Doomhammer or Bust. He got his win condition. Now I need to work on my own game plan, otherwise I will just lose. Okay, so this is not too bad. I mean, I'm not doing a whole lot, but actually I've played really too fast here. I should have not used the hero bar and played the other one. Yeah, I'm a bit tired actually. This could be a big mistake, to be honest. Does he want to protect his Talos? He does. Does he? He does, okay. So it saved me 2 mana, I mean 2 health. It's fine. Here we want a skull, obviously. This is not one, but we'll get closer to it, hopefully. Okay, so here is the little trick. We use our attack before we use the weapon, so that we still get the full durability of it. And as you can see, okay, it's the second one. He played a bunch of cards for more mana than what they usually cost, so it is pretty good. So here, what do I want to do? I could play all my two cost cards, play the Fellscream Blast. It's not bad. not great either, but I get the board. I get a 2-4 that annoys him. I clear his board. So let's see, we'll draw first and see what we get. Okay, we'll just stick to the plan, I guess. Yeah. Also, this is something that was already true for the previous expansion version of this deck, but do not hesitate to go face whenever you can, because sometimes you have a way to deal some damages with the combo, but you are too short on damages. But this kind of deck that he is playing is not running any heal whatsoever, so the more chip damage I can make, the easier it will be to kill him. Okay. So again, is he wasting his time? I don't really know what he's doing, honestly. Okay, so try number 2 to get our skull. And that's not it. I guess we'll take this because we are at 5 attack, we can kill this, go face, we have a 3-2, we can play that afterwards. It should be the better play. So this will get either the Moang, the 2-4, or Thalnos here. Thalnos will be good actually, because we lack draws. But as I was saying, against aggro decks, you don't necessarily need to OTK them. Especially his deck. What is he doing? What's this? Okay, yeah. Plays a bunch of cards for free, it's fine. Because especially his deck is trying to go face, and wow, this hand is really garbage though. I mean, if we don't get any draw, we cannot win. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Out of 13 cards, we have 7 cards that would have drawn cards. So it was a 1 in 2 that we missed. We missed several times, I guess. Also, as soon as we get Fellscreen Blast or I-Beam or anything that deals lifesteal, we just win the game on the spot, considering how low he is. So what was I saying again? Yeah, he already played his win condition, which is Doomhammer, and even though the Doomhammer was dead, we were at 27 health, so it does show that we had we played the early game pretty well. But I mean, as you can see, we might die here, but no, okay, we don't die. Any spell damage maybe? No. I mean, this game should have been won, honestly, but I don't know. The game didn't want to give us any cards, so I guess we lost. This wasn't a pretty easy victory. I mean, that's the issue with the deck. Sometimes you just lose it by itself, but trust me, I mean, how many games did I play? Oh, is it? Across two tournaments, I played 19 games with it, and I think it only happened once that I lost because of the deck. Okay, Warlock, so this is interesting. I talked a bit about it when I showed you the deck. Maybe I want to keep this to make sure that I will get the Ilgenot in time. I mean, I don't think I need to, honestly. I have time to get it again, and I really want, in slower decks, because in slower matchups, yeah, we really want the skull, and we got it. So, turns out it's not a slow matchup, but it's fine. I mean, We are a control deck after all. So what do we do here? The 2-4 will not be effective against this deck, but... Actually, you know what? We can play it. Because if he has the 2-1 that buffs adjacent minions by +1/+1, he might feel like, yeah, that's a good play, I will just play it and kill it. But then I can clear the board, which is everything I want to do in this matchup. Okay, didn't take the bait. Probably means it doesn't have it, but yeah. Here we are not going to grid our removals. We just clear the board. We have things to do. It will continue to annoy him. Here I'll just equip the weapon and wait. He lost value on this card because he did not activate his battle cry. So no 2-1 rush. Wow, actually the first time I've seen this card. So here we want to make sure that on 6 we can cast our skull. But it's... I mean... I'll just clear the board. Making sure that we kill everyone in the same time so that the buff is not triggering. I'll keep the 1-3 in hand, just in case we draw a spell next turn. If we don't, we'll still have to play it. Yeah, you see how strong this is. If he cannot play it, like, look at this. This costs 3 mana, and he played a 0-2 and a 1-1 for 5 mana. This is just too strong. If you don't have a way to deal with it, it will just win the game by itself. Because now I am in a really strong position to cast the School of Gul'dan next turn. I'll just chip damage him. No point in trading anything here. Because he will start damaging himself, yeah, by life tapping. It's fine. I have AoEs if I need to. Yes, this egg. Actually, this is the first time I've seen it since the new expansion, but I really like this egg. I don't even feel threatened enough to not play my school, but to be honest, like, in this kind of matchup, I just have to have tempo and I win, so what I will be doing here, I will be killing this, using that, and just dropping Ilginot on the board. Because he will want to kill it. I mean, actually this is kind of troll, but... yeah, I might be trolling actually. Because I didn't even use the effect when I hit. But yeah, this game is over. Okay, so since it was really a fast game, I will do another one. And also I want to show you most of you must know the combo, but it would be cool if we could one-shot someone. Which is added value for this deck. You can one-shot someone. And again, we'll have a game with the 2-4 against the mage. Perfect. So you'll see why this deck is so good against mage. Okay, so usually this card I mulligan it away because this is a 1 mana draw 1 card. So this is a pretty good turn 1 play, but there is something better than 1 mana draw 1, there is 0 mana draw 1. And this is basically what the mulligan is. If you just send a card away, you draw another card for free. But since I don't want to have an annoying card on the left of the skull, I will keep it for this time. Because imagine if Ilginot comes instead of this card. Then I cannot play it anymore. Okay, so I still think this is a spell mage. Some version run the Cthulhu minion here, but Cthulhu is better. Okay, so and this card is really frustrating to play against. To be honest, I think they should nerf it. Either this should be 3 mana or this should not have 4 health. Because the other watch post, it's fine, the effect is not that annoying, but this one is really not fun. And it's not only not fun to play against, it's very hard to... I mean, the effect triggers whatsoever. At the very least, it's a 2 mana 2/4 that must be answered, and that makes the next card that your opponent draws cost 1 more. So in a situation like this, honestly, the game is already won. I mean, I could always lose because this is mage, you know. If it plays deck of Lunacy and stuff happens, I could lose, but this is very unlikely. I look at this. He had to waste the coin and spend his whole turn killing one of my guy. This is super strong. So again, I will hit first so that I keep the durability on the weapon. And so if we tracked, this card costs 1 more because of the effect of this one. Actually, yeah, but he did play a card that made it cost 1 less. Okay, so never mind. It might still be... No, I don't think it's a spell mage anymore. It most likely is the fire blast mage. I think I've played once against it. He will be extremely triggered by this card, I think. I mean, he still played Incantus Flow, so that's weird. I probably use a spell mage after all. Here I will not waste my weapon. I play Thalnos because I want to draw, but he may use... I think also if he had the missiles of devolution, he would have used them already. Things went from bad to worse for him. Yeah. I mean, this game is super one. Draw first. I continue doing cheap damages. I mean, it's really cheap this time, but look at this. This is here since turn 2. So he had 4 cards that cost 1 more than they should. To be honest, against Mage it's only fair because, you know, they play cards that reduce the cost of their whole deck, but I cannot do that. This was bad ordering by him. Also, he has a 2 damage Fire Blast, I guess. This deck, to be honest, is a little bit tricky to play. You have... I don't have any draws right now. I could kill this, and I will do it actually. Oh. I guess we are going to kill him, huh? So this time I just want to spend my mana efficiently, so I'll just do that. But yeah, as I was saying, this deck does require a bit of practice because there is a lot of things that you could do wrong. It's all about, as I was saying, being able to find the right time to cast your skull and make sure that you can be in a position when you can cast the skull without being in danger. And yeah, the 2-4 just make it so easy actually. You play the 2-4 and just look at how much tempo I had. He had to spend his whole... I mean, this is not a deck that has a lot of tempo in early game, but it even slows him down more, so it's actually very bad for him. So now we are kind of like the first game. We are waiting for, I guess, only a 2-4 would be enough to kill now, considering the hand I have. So this is a bit unfortunate that he devolving missiled this one, because it was going to give me a 2-4. And this would have been the game. And now I just have to wait till I draw one. Because again, I mean, I only have answers, but this time I'm not being pressured, so it's fine. But I need to draw some cards. Actually, I almost have everything I want, but I need to make sure that I can get to the morgue. So I haven't checked if the sound of the game was too high with my voice. Maybe the 2 hours that I've spent recording are just a complete waste, but I hope it's not the case. So what do we do here? Do we kill him? Not yet, it seems. Unless we draw that. Still, we're gonna give him one more turn to live. I'll just play Philosophy here. Cast my 3 mana Eye Beam. And yeah, next turn is extra dead. Next turn we have 2, 4, 5. Actually, this was a mistake. I should have played this one. You see, this is some small mistakes you can do with this deck. Like, if I kept the 3 mana on the left side, I could have played this and then that here. It would have cost 1 mana. But, I mean, the game is over, honestly. Because I can do 2, 4, 2, 4, 5, 7, 9, 10. So I need to make sure this is not a counter spell, so I will need to cast a spell before. So with the mistake I made, I can only play one of these. 2, 4, 5, 7, 9. I couldn't have anyways. 2, 4, 5, 7, 8. And 2 mana to check the counter spell. So it is a kill. Just make sure that you play this last. For if you don't, the next spell will not have spell damage. And this is a kill. Minus 36. I almost press the screenshot button since I'm too familiar playing in tournaments. Okay, so that's everything I wanted to show you. Those are the 3 decks I used to win the qualifier for the Masters Tour Orgrimmar. If you have any questions about any of the decks that I talked about, or if you want me to make a video about some other decks, feel free to ask in the comments and I might do a video on them. Also, this is kind of a try because this is the first time I make a video, so if you liked it, let me know. If you did not like it, let me know also. If you think there are things that could be improved, let me know. And yeah, thanks for watching and see you later.